5 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock. Listen to a little Mark in the Morning here on Whoop Radio along with Mr. Daniel, one of the best co-hosts, if not the best co-host in all the world. 99.9 FM on your radio dial. We're all over the world on WOOPFM.com. We make welcome for the first time the first time on my show. Maybe the first time to Whoop Radio.
First time.
You got to get close to the mic now. So
first time.
There you go. We make welcome Mr. Gary Matheny, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey now.
Who has written a book. Is this your first book or second book?
Actually, no, it's my second book.
Okay.
Yeah, I wrote my first one in 2010, and back when I was living in Macon, Georgia. As a matter of fact, I just moved up this way last July. So
Are you from Macon?
Yeah, I'm from Macon originally.
Hey, you've heard of a town called Blackshear, Georgia?
Oh, absolutely, down near Waycross.
Yeah, my brother lives there.
Oh, really?
He pastors a church there in Blackshear. Why in the world anybody would want to live in Blackshear, I have no idea.
One of the hottest places in the world.
It is.
Oh, yeah. Okefenokee Swamp, full of gators, snakes. I wouldn't want to live down there.
Bugs?
Oh, flies. You name it. Mosquitoes the size.
But if Kelly Nealon wanted to move down there with me, I'd go to Blackshear.
You would hop on a bus?
I'd hop on a bus and go to Blackshear. What was your first book about?
I was a shoe salesman at the age of 16. And,
me too.
Really?
Yes.
Really?
My mother owned a shoe, God rest her soul,
Huh.
she owned a shoe store.
Wow.
And that's my first job. Go ahead.
Well, at the age of 16, I went to work for a Butler shoe store in Macon, Georgia. And I'm transferred to North Carolina for a year's management job, and my brother and I decided to go back to Macon and open our own store. Oh, wow. So at the age of 19, I had actually 2 shoe stores.
What about that?
So one afternoon, we were working, and a lady came in and just tried on just a gob of shoes, and so she walked out and didn't buy anything, and my brother said, one day we should write a book. I said, what would we call it? He said, if the shoe fits, wear it. So 33 years later, sitting on a cruise ship doing nothing, I started taking notes, and I put the book together and published it.
Do you have a foot fetish?
No, but I can usually, that's the first thing I look at when I see someone.
See, now, that man understands me. He understands.
Y'all are some weird folks.
I'm not calling it a foot fetish. It's not. But there's something about, because that was my first job. I was 14 years old, went to work, it's called Pat Shoe Tree. After my mother's first name, and I went to work in her shoe store, and I don't know what it is, but I'm the same way. I've got to look at the shoe and the foot.
First thing.
And it's nothing weird. We're not crazy,
It was just your world for a while.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Did you know that you can actually look at the bone here to the elbow, and that's the size of a foot?
It is.
Yeah, you can actually take it and measure from here to here, and that's the size of your foot.
I didn't know that. This was back in the day when I worked in the shoe store. When you went in and there was only one shoe out, and the lady would come up and I'd like to see that in an 8.5 narrow, please.
And then 30 minutes
later,
later,
you'd go back to the back.
Come back.
Well, yeah, and then while you were back there, you'd grab 3 or 4 others that you think. Sure. And I said, well, I thought you might like to try this on, Yeah. And then you'd get that. You remember, you get down on and help them put the shoe on, get the shoe horn on.
Yeah.
That doesn't happen anymore. You go in Kohl's or Target or wherever, and you just.
I miss those days because I always think, is this shoe fitting me right? Where is someone to feel my foot and see if it's right?
Did you know that most folks buy shoes too big? You can look at the heel and they've got that much space just because they don't know how to fit their shoes.
See there?
Uh-oh.
These are the most comfortable shoes. They're probably the cheapest pair, but they're just slip-ons, and they're very comfortable. Mm-hmm. And why are we talking about feet fetishes this morning?
Whoa, you said it was not a foot fetish.
No, it's not. But this man understands my pain, Daniel. Finally, somebody that understands my pain of what I've lived through all these years.
This is a rare person.
Gary Matheny in the studio here with us here. He has written a book. First of all, thank you for taking time to come in this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Oh, no, we'll bill you for it. He's written a book called The Bullet, and it's a very interesting cover. It's just a bullet speeding through. What I want to ask you about before Daniel gets to you here is your picture on the back. You're holding a phone up, like you're. Why that? Why that picture?
My wife says I'm always on my cell phone.
I knew there was a reason, Daniel.
Busy man. He's a busy man.
Get the phone up to his ear right here.
Actually, I'm waiting for someone to call and order the book.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Right on.
We're going to give away one of his books. It's 10 after. We'll probably do that about 20 after this morning. And he has autographed it to the winner. And I'm sure it's I'd like to get your other book, too.
Super. I can get one by here to you.
I would like. No, just come in. We'll do an entire show about women's feet.
That
One
would
more.
be, hey, some of the pranks we pulled, I could just really entertain you, man. I'm gonna tell you.
I'll see you next Thursday morning. Better yet, let's do it next Friday, and then we'll call Kelly Nealon right afterwards. Kelly, can you text us a picture of your feet? We're having way too much fun here this morning. Gary Matheny live in the studio. You're no kin to that Matheny guy that manages the Cardinals, are you?
No, but my brother's name is Michael Matheny, but no relation to the Michael Matheny catcher. So but hey, if it's going to help me sell a book, I'll claim it, man.
That would be a good thing.
It would not help sell a book to Mark. So give us a brief synopsis of the bullet. Give us a rundown.
Well, you want to know how I wrote it? You want to know about the book? You tell me what you want.
Tell us the plot.
You're paying. You tell us whatever you want.
Oh, gee, I'll make it short then.
Yeah, make it short. Yeah, just a brief synopsis. What?
Well, the book talks about a bullet that is issued at the beginning of World War II. And it actually travels through time and sees Korea, Vietnam, into the 1980s era of Miami, Florida, to a police department. Basically, what it does is the bullet sees a lot of hard times, a lot of destruction, a lot of good times, and it is unique because of the way it's handed down to each of the recipients that get it. And then once it's handed to them, it sees their life and how it affects their lives, and it talks about their background. And again, it's just unique how they actually receive the bullet. You'll look at it and say, "Gee, how'd that happen?"
Does it end up in the hands of a guy named Tubbs on Miami Vice?
No, it does not. As a matter of fact, it ends up in the Miami-Dade Sheriff's Department, but his name's not Tubbs.
Okay.
Yeah.
Very good. Now, where'd this idea come from?
Oh, wow. I was sitting in my lazy boy one Sunday afternoon watching a movie with Nicolas Cage, and he was a gun runner, and he was from Ukraine or somewhere. And as the credits were opening up, they showed this bullet traveling just right above the water on the ocean. And so I looked over at my wife and I said, I wonder what it'd be like to trace a bullet from the time it's made to the time it's used. And she says, I don't know. And I went upstairs and started writing the book.
She's like, I don't know.
Yeah. She says, where do you get these ideas? I said, you just need to sit in my head.
Yeah, because you've got that foot thing going.
There you go.
I feel your pain, actually.
Yeah. So it sounds like the main character then would be the bullet, or it's kind of like a group of short stories with the bullet kind of.
It basically is.
Together.
The bullet's what ties everything together, but it's unique in that the people that are in the different branches of the service that it affects, they're from different parts of the country, and like I say, you actually get to know the people, and you feel like you're personal with them because you're so in depth. You get to know each one of them.
Gary Matheny in the studio here with us. We're talking about a book. Did this just come out?
Yeah, it was released a week and a half ago. It's available on the Amazon and Barnes & Noble's websites. It's ebook, hard copy, and soft copy. Hopefully soon to have in some of the bookstores around. And, of course, I've got plenty of them at my home and my office if someone wants to pick up one locally.
So what's your address so people can come to your house?
That's confidential.
Yeah, especially for Whoop listeners. Here's a question I have about
Seth only goes so far.
About when you pick a title, in other words, the bullet. Do you have to research and see if anybody else has a book named The Bullet with the copyright on it, or how does that work?
Well, there are other books with the title The Bullet.
There is.
What I did was the second line there, the intriguing Trip of the Bullet or whatever.
Story of the bullet.
My publisher pretty much has the legal background to do that. There were several things in the book they would question me on, have me do some research on to make sure that it was all legal. So I had to depend on them to know that it's okay.
They're a layer of protection for you then also.
Yeah.
I have been in the funeral business for a little over 30 years. It's all I've ever done. And
Besides feet.
I have wanted to write a book for years about some of the, I know everybody knows that there's nothing happy at all about a funeral service, and some are a lot more difficult than others. But there are a lot of humorous things along the way that happen, interesting things that I thought about sharing over time. And when I was in mortuary college, a gentleman wrote a book. He was a lifelong funeral director, and it was entitled, Hey, That's My Coat. Because now that may not make sense to a lot of people, but if you're an embalmer and you're in a preparation room, you understand that when you go to take a coat and cut it down the back, you don't want to pick up the funeral director's coat accidentally and take the parachute. So, but if I wrote a book, I'm serious. I've thought about the title. I would title it, "If I Had $1 for Every Time I Heard the 23rd Psalm." Well, you think that would work?
Sure.
Do we need to pick something else?
No, I think it'd be a great title.
Maybe, or the Amazing Grace or something. You know, If I had $1 for.
How about Now I Lay Me Down to Sleep?
No.
Well, that brings me to a question.
What about a funeral director who likes feet?
There you go.
No, that wouldn't work either. Forget it.
Funerals and feet.
Start out about my shoe store experience and then how I went in the funeral business.
Yeah.
You got it.
Yeah. Now, it says on here that you were in the pharmacy industry, and then you retired, and then you wrote books. So what advice would you have for someone like Mark or someone else they're always, because everybody knows, everybody has a book that they want to write. What advice would you give them?
Do it. Everybody has this inner sanctity they want to bring out, and whether it's in your head and it's a fiction story, or whether it's something that's really about yourself, I would say sit down and start writing it. Don't wait. You never know what tomorrow's going to bring. The biggest thing about publishing now and writing is that most of your traditional publishers will not take on someone unless you're really, really well known. And so you have to do your own publishing, and you go through a house like I did, which was a big publishing firm, but they give you some marketing advice, but it's pretty much up to you to do the marketing and sell the material. But I would say if you've got something that you want to write, sit down and start putting it together. It took me, the first book, a little over a year. While I was traveling, I would think of something, I'd write it down in the book, and I'd go back and start compiling things. And there's days I could sit and write all day. There's days I could write for 10 minutes and just couldn't get anything. I never thought writer's block happened, but it really does.
Are there times where you might get up at 1 or 2 in the morning because you got ideas and you sit down and
yes. And the hardest thing to write, though, is not a fiction like this. It's one like my first book where I was talking about real life experiences, because you have to get them right. People call you on them. You have to call people and say, "Hey, can I use that? Do I have permission to use that?" Because nowadays people's after $1, they'll come after you. I mean, really, I didn't say that.
Your pin on your lapel. What is that?
That is a Air Force parents pin. My son is 14 years Air Force.
God bless him.
That's awesome.
He actually went into he was on the way to basic training the day the planes hit in 9/11. And
is that right?
Yeah, he called me and told me they were pulling them back and put him in a hotel that night. And I asked him, I said, "Well, son, you went in to get an education. We may go to war." He said, "Dad, I told you I was going to go in the Air Force. I'm here to serve."
God bless him. He's a true American hero, and you tell him that we said thank him for his service.
Well, he just made his second stripe. He's a tech sergeant now. So
that's great.
What about that?
That's great.
My nephew is in the Navy. He's in Norfolk, Virginia, and he's stationed on the USS Dwight D. Eisenhower.
Wow.
They don't do anything. The ship is just docked there, and they eat and they guard the ship. Well, I mean, but they could get called out at any time. Yeah, they never know.
Yeah.
But,
listen, I've got a great respect for all the service people. They do a great job, especially in today's world where things are happening to them as they are. And it's just sad to know that we're in the state where our soldiers are defenseless.
Yeah, that's going to change, hopefully. 18 minutes after the hour of 8 o'clock, Gary Matheny live here in the studio with us on the Mark in the Morning Show. We're talking about his book called The Bullet. We got one to give away, 614-5553. I'm going to open up the phone lines right now if you'd like to call in. I'm telling you, this is a very, very interesting book. A great gentleman here with us this morning, and he's got an autographed book, 614-5553, and
how fitting would it be if Bullet won the Bullet?
We're not going to let him have it. And then I want you to bring by a copy of your other book, All About Feet, or if the shoe fits, wear it. That would certainly, a gentleman who understands my pain,
Yes.
I would like to read that book. Do you have another book in mind that you're thinking about or working on?
Yes, I do.
Let's take it. You're live on the Mark in the Morning Show.
Yes, I'd love to have a copy of The Bullet.
Who is this?
This is Charlie.
Hey, Charlie. Hey, here's what I'm going to do. You're going to get an autographed copy. You want to come by the radio station or Grissom Funeral Home?
Whatever's convenient for you. I get out about 5 o'clock in the evening.
Come by the radio station. Fro Daddy will be here.
Will be here till 5.
Sign it to Charlie.
Yes, sir.
And he's autographing it for you right now, my friend.
I certainly appreciate it. I love your show, and I'm glad you're back.
Well, thank you, and thanks for listening. Enjoy the book.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Have a good one. Tell your friends about it.
Nice guy right there. 20 after the hour of 8 o'clock. Tell us about your next book.
Actually, playing off of the last character in this book, and this the title South Beach Connection is going to delve into a little more of the not necessarily a bullet being traced, but it's going to delve more into a law enforcement type
Cool.
scenario.
Cool.
You
Did you spend time in Florida?
Just vacationing when my kids were younger. Yeah.
Very good.
Macon, Georgia. What's Macon known for? I'm trying to. Besides
The Allman Brothers.
Pete. Oh, is that it?
Southern Rock. Yes.
Oh, all right.
Wow.
Yeah.
I love the Allman Brothers.
Yeah, Greg Allman. I used to sit in the bar with Greg Allman in the afternoons.
Is that right?
Yeah, Greg Allman was he was kind of quiet during those times. That was back during the 70s when he didn't know a lot was going around. But I mean,
Yeah.
they used to do a lot of concerts. People like Eric Clapton and Johnny Winter would fly in on the planes, and they'd go out and do some jam sessions with brothers out off of their Thomaston Road location, their farm, and then they'd come back into Macon, fly out, and they'd invite the public to come out. So it was a really neat deal.
Very cool.
You ever hear of a gentleman named Joe Bonamassa?
Yes.
I love Joe Bonamassa.
I
Good
bet
music.
you're about to hear some more from him. In just
No.
Really?
Because it's Southern Gospel Day here on Whoop Radio.
Yeah.
Hey, another guy is Otis Redding.
Oh, for Macon?
He was from Bradley, Georgia, which is about 20 miles north of Macon, yes. I used to sell his wife's shoes.
Oh, really?
Yes, I did.
Here we go back on the shoe thing, man. The foot thing. I'm telling you, it's not a foot fetish. You people listening to this show, you've got to understand. There's a difference. If you had a job in a shoe store and you looked at women's feet all the time, it sticks in your head, and that's just natural when you meet someone.
That's right.
And
You
you look
size them
down,
up based on their foot.
and we probably need have some conversation off the air. Would be
But
better.
it's not weird.
'Cause let me
it's
tell
not
you
weird,
something.
but you want to talk about it off the air.
It's not weird, and there are some pretty bad-looking feet out there, too. Hey, my friend, thanks for coming this morning.
All right.
Thanks,
Appreciate you guys having me.
Hey, if you want to come back and talk about the other book,
You
we'll
let
do
me
that,
know.
too.
You let me
All
know.
right.
Yep.
Gary Matheny, ladies and gentlemen, a book called The Bullet. You can go to Amazon and where else?
Barnes & Nobles.
Amazon and Barnes & Nobles and get a copy of this. It's going to be a great book. Thanks for coming in. We'll be right back.